Welcome back to Pharmacon tutorial. Today's lecture is about quinolones and fluoroquinolones. So let's get started. These antimicrobials are synthetic nucleic acid synthesis inhibitors having quinolone structure. The first member is nalidixic acid and it was actually a urinary antiseptic against E. coli, Proteus, Klebsiella, Enterobacter, Salmonella, but not Pseudomonas. A breakthrough was achieved by fluorination of the quinolones at position 6 and introduction of a piperazine substitution at position 7, which has activity against the Pseudomonas as well. These includes norfloxacin, ciprofloxacin, ofloxacin, levofloxacin, gemifloxacin, moxifloxacin, etc. Now about their mechanism of action. They act by inhibition of two enzymes that are required for DNA replication. First is the topoisomerase 2, which is also known as DNA gyrase, and secondly topoisomerase 4. This topoisomerase 2 actually removes positive superhelical twists that arise after helicase unwinds the DNA, while the topoisomerase 4 allows the two newly formed chromosomes or DNA molecules come apart after DNA replication. These fluoroquinolones inhibit topoisomerase 2 in gram-negative bacteria and topoisomerase 4 in gram-positive bacteria, and thus inhibit bacterial DNA synthesis, so they are bactericidal in nature. And again, the resistance to fluoroquinolones is emerging and increasing day by day. Coming to their antibacterial spectrum and uses, they have a high activity against gram-negative organisms such as E. coli, Enterobacter, Proteus, Klebsiella, Salmonella, Shigella, S. aureus, and Mycobacter tuberculosis. The uses include their uses in UTIs, bacterial prostatitis. They can be used to treat sexually transmitted diseases, pelvic inflammatory diseases due to chlamydia and gonorrhea, then skin, soft tissue, bone infection by gram-negative bacteria, then diarrhea due to Shigella, Salmonella, then E. coli, etc., then drug-resistant pneumococci, and this ciprofloxacin is preferred for treatment and prophylaxis of anthrax. Regarding their pharmacokinetic properties, they show food interactions like tetracyclines, and their absorption will be inhibited or decreased by antacids, calcium, iron, milk, vitamin supplements, etc. They can be used IV or topically. They are excreted renally, so their dose should be adjusted in renal patients. Now lastly about their side effects. Side effects associated are GI distress, that is nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Then CNS effects include insomnia, dizziness, headache, hallucination, and even convulsions. They also shows hypersensitivity reactions and phototoxicity. This tendonitis, that is the inflammation of tendon, and tendon rupture is seen in few patients above 60 years of age because it gets deposited in tendons. They can also cause a prolongation of QT intervals leading to Torsach rhythm. These drugs are contraindicated in pregnancy and children because it will cause inhibition of chondrogenesis. Now, some drug interactions include increased plasma concentration of theophylline, warfarin by inhibiting their metabolism, and they shows drug interaction with NSAIDs. That is, NSAIDs may enhance the CNS toxicity of fluoroquinolones, and seizures are reported. So that's all about quinolones and fluoroquinolones.